Mothers are the queens of the castle, but let's be real, it's not all ball gowns and glass slippers.
On this podcast, we're giving you a peek behind the throne at the privilege and responsibility of wearing the crown. My name is Helen Hope Kimbrough, and I'm a proud wife and mom of 2 adult sons.
And I'm Charlita Hatch, a proud wife, married to my high school sweetheart, and a proud mom to 2 little ones. Get ready as we share jewels with each other
and you around all things connected to motherhood. Hello. What we're going to discuss this time is called 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Yeah, okay. We're going to have a little biblical component to it. But
I was getting worried at first. I was like, well, that doesn't sound tasty.
I know, but I think we'll bring everyone along. So I thought about 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread because this is actually my nickname too, like in my house. So it's just not
That's
like
not a nickname. Two
let me finish.
That's a long
Let
nickname.
me finish because it's about Jesus feeding the 5,000 and with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, and how could he possibly do all of that? Well, I felt like my sons ate me out of a house and home. They were always hungry, always looking for snacks, always looking for meals, and I just couldn't keep up. And so I'm like, you know what? Instead of me fixing 6 chicken breast planks, whatever, I'm going to start fixing like big meals, and I'm going to slice and dice these up. And so we could have a big pot of chili, at a time. We could have a big pot of pasta at another time, or soup. And I'll just have some sides to go with it, and we can just kind of exchange out during the week. Because the other thing is I hate cooking, and I don't like spending a lot of time in the kitchen. So with that, I just say, you know what? Call me 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, because I am trying to multiply food up in here.
Yes. But that's honestly the reason why I don't cook bacon. Because I'm like, it's expensive, and the men in my house, the man and the boy, they all need the whole pack of bacon, and they still not full. So I'm with you on that. Like,
yeah. So that's how I started, coming up with that term and title, because I was like, if this is going to continue, no. And what it reminded me of, and this is going to be kind of funny, guys, because I went to Hampton and Charlita went to Hampton. So if you ever went to the Calf, they did 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread up in there too.
Oh, yeah.
So if you had chili one day, you automatically knew you were having spaghetti the next day.
Oh, I never picked up on that.
Oh, yes.
You're right. Yes.
Yes. So they were practicing that too. And I'm sure other cafeterias.
As expensive as that school. Ooh, you got me.
Yes. And so I'm like, people have been doing this for a while. They just haven't given a name to it. I just decided to give a name to it. So, yeah. So I just had to break that down.
Maybe we call you 2-5. I mean, I just feel like 2 fish and 5 loaves real long.
Okay. All right. Another generational connotation here. So,
well, we got to give you a text message friendly name.
I know. She's like 2-5. So, okay, Helen, you 2-5. So let's start from the beginning, and let's talk a little bit about like ways that you encourage your kids to eat healthy and all of that. And how does eating healthy appeal to them?
Well, if y'all remember, I have a 6 and a 2-year-old, so it's really hard to encourage them to eat healthy. Mm-hmm. So most of the time I'm sneaking it.
Okay.
So it is sneaking, like if we're making spaghetti, chopping up the vegetables in there.
Yep.
I try to makes me feel like a really good mom to give them a smoothie every week, chock full of all the things that they could eat. And then, I really try to cook like everybody in our family, like universally likes broccoli and carrots.
Oh, yeah.
And there's other vegetables, like some people like Brussels sprouts, some people like squash, some people like zucchini, but like everybody likes broccoli and carrots. So I try to have that. And then we have, at least with my son, trying to have conversations about why it's important, particularly as you want to be an athlete at this point in your life, to eat good, healthy foods and to like encourage that. Mm-hmm. And then the worst thing is saying like, well, if you eat your broccoli, you can have ice cream. So it's like really counterintuitive. I mean,
That's how we grew up.
yeah.
They would say that to us growing
Yeah.
up.
It's like,
Yep.
just evens out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
eat your broccoli, then you can have Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, I mean, obviously with a 6 and a 2-year-old, it's hard to do it. But we do try to have kind of like the eat the rainbow and all of those things.
I love the Eat the Rainbow. And it's also just about introducing different flavors like early so that when they become older, they will want to, do that on their own. I know as a new mom, what I did was I made like my own kids' baby food.
Yep, I did that too.
And so I had a mincer, and I think Austin really loved like eating different kinds of foods. And Avery, the younger, he would look to see what we were eating, and he said, as soon as I get off of this cereal that they have me eating, I want what y'all want. What is that you're eating? Because it smells really good. So I really wouldn't season what they ate. I would just put it in the mincer after it was cooked and then have them eat that, because I just felt like it was healthier for them. It was less sodium that you would find in packaged foods. And it was good. And so you could, and because of that, they are healthy eaters. Like they eat everything. My kids were in the generation where they were the chicken nugget, and that's all kids ate. Still, is that still the same?
At least with my kids. That's still a thing.
I was like, is that still a thing? I was like, oh, surely they've gotten beyond that. Oh,
Some people's kids that I know eat sushi, but my kids still eat dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Yep. So I was just like, yeah. And then I also would introduce cooking, to them, because I felt like if they were to prepare their food, then they would be more apt to try it. Mm-hmm. They may not like it, but they would say, you know what, I helped prepare this, so I'm going to try it. And more than not, they would eat what they cooked.
Yep, that's good. Yep.
So
I really enjoyed making baby food. I would, even though they didn't know, I would take them to the farmer's market and we would talk about like the colors, the fruits, the vegetables, and then come home and making those big batches of baby food. I also made my own squeeze pouches, my own applesauce, my own oatmeal. So I really enjoy baby food because seeing your kid like explore those different flavors, like to me, that was like a beautiful kind of thing, like transitioning them. And then as well as the cooking. Like I think the cooking, the singing, especially as somebody who kind of grew up cooking with my grandma and like having that bonding time and just using that they don't realize the science and the math that's involved.
Yes.
But then the conversations around food, where recipes come from and all that, I have really enjoyed that. But as both of us are like authors and like readers, I have also enjoyed like exposing my son to like books that talk about like healthy foods, healthy eating, and of course your book. And so I would love to know what inspired you as a mom to write that book.
Yes. Well, Yummy Healthy Tasties in My Tummy. It was actually motivated by me doing some book talks at schools. And I would do summer programs. Sometimes I would do after school programs and just, seeing how kids would eat. And most times they would gravitate towards the salty snacks or the sugary snacks. But there would be apples there would be oranges there, and the kids wouldn't touch it. So it would be a table full of apples, a table full of oranges, and still be there. But all of the chips were gone, all of the cupcakes were gone all the time. And so I started asking kids, like, why don't you eat, an apple, or why don't you eat an orange? And you would have kids that say, oh, I don't eat that. And I was like, you don't eat apple? No, I don't eat that. I said, well, do you drink apple juice? And they would say, oh, I love apple juice. Then you eat apples. And then the same with the oranges. But I think with oranges, they felt it was more involved because you would have to peel it yourself. I grew up peeling my oranges. And so if you see a table full of oranges and kids are hungry, they're like, wait, now that's just a lot of work to peel an orange.
That's how I feel about crab legs. I feel like you can't be hungry and go get crab legs. We can go after I eat.
Yes. And then you would say, have some kids like, oh, I don't eat that. And so that's really what developed the idea of there are foods out here that you are eating. You just don't think you're eating it because it's coming in a different form.
And your mama's hiding it. So you don't even know you eat spinach.
And you don't even know you're eating spinach. And I mean, even doing cooking demonstrations with kids, specifically when this book came out, doing cooking demonstrations, and parents would say, you know, my kid doesn't eat that on their pizza, because we would do cooking demonstrations with pizza. Of course, a lot of kids love cheese pizza with no toppings and all of that. But it was like, well, let's just add a little bit of spinach on here. Let's add some mushrooms and just kind of see like what they think about it. And the parents would be, you know, say, no, they won't eat that. And so we would just say, we're not going to put it on the whole pizza. We're going to put a little bit on so they can just taste it. And then if they don't like it, they have the whole other side of the pizza. They can just eat that. The kids would automatically go to the side that had the toppings. And the parents would say, oh my God, I can't believe they're eating that. I didn't think they would like it, because they had never tried it. And so I even encourage like going to the grocery store, just picking up something that you can try that is, you know, cost effective, because I know food is costly now, but something that you feel like, you know what, I'm going to introduce this, because I also feel like not enough food is introduced to children so that they won't try it. And then when they become older, they're like, oh, they're just picky eaters. Are they picky eaters, or did you just not have the time to introduce the different foods to them? So it's a different way to do that. So that's really how the book was formed, with kids just expressing how their distaste for certain things, although they were eating those things.
And so as I was reading it with Mark, I love that one I was sharing with Helen, that he pointed out, like, once he found out certain foods were healthy, he was like, oh, I don't like that anymore. So like he saw blueberries in there and he loves blueberries. We'll eat the whole container of blueberries. And now he's like, oh, it's healthy. I don't like that. So having the conversation that it's good. It fuels your body. You want that. And it's okay for healthy food to taste good. And if mommy makes something healthy that doesn't taste good, tell me, because I may be able to figure out a way to make it taste different. There's more than one way to eat broccoli or cucumbers or tomatoes. So that's helped. But then on the flip side, you know, he's like, can have pizza every day, because in the story,
we talk about pizza.
They make their own pizza for their friends to come over. And he's like, see, mommy, I can have pizza every day because it's healthy, right? And so I'm like, so do you like healthy food or do you not like healthy food? However, I also love the chant. And I would love for you to share that, because I think that like is a way to like make it fun for kids and to really encourage them trying at least one thing. And I feel as a mom, I'm really proud of the fact that I don't force my kids. I don't even say just try it once.
Oh yeah.
I really encourage them to do it. But and they eventually will.
Yeah.
But it's not like you cannot get up from the table unless you try this Brussels sprout.
Yeah.
And so
I know that's trauma. You just induced it in my spirit right there.
Right?
That's a trigger.
Right? Because we know that, but you know, I'm glad that we don't do that. And by having like conversations in the shows and the books that celebrate healthy eating, it encourages our kids to try.
Yes. Well, this is almost to the last page of the book, and it basically says, hi, friends. Always remember that healthy foods are very good for you. These foods will help you grow, be smart, and become strong. And every time you eat something healthy and good for you, don't forget to say the yummy tummy chant. So I'm going to say it and then I'm going to sing it. Yummy tummy, yummy, yummy for my tummy. Good food, great treats, yummy for me to eat. Yummy, yummy for my tummy. Fresh food, tasty treats, delicious for me to eat. Yummy, yummy for my tummy. Good food, great treats, yummy for me to eat. Oh, yummy, yummy for my tummy. Fresh food, tasty treats, delicious for me to eat. Yummy, yummy for my tummy. Good food, great treats, yummy for me to eat. Oh, good food, great treats, yummy for me to eat. Ah, good food, great treats, yummy for me to eat. Good food, great treats, yummy for me to eat.
Oh, I love that. And now I feel like a horrible mom because my son has never had that experience with that book. He gets more of the rapper version
And I'm fine
of
with the
it.
rap
He
version.
doesn't really get that,
This is
but
my little
that was
Calypso
beautiful.
Island.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Yes.
So I would like to know, what is one of your go-to recipes now or later, or before, that you know that made you feel good for like a healthy meal for your kids, for your family, or for you now?
I will say it has to be soups. Like, I'm a stellar soup maker, and I just grab whatever is in my pantry or whatever's in the vegetable place, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make some soup. Now, when I started making soups, it was selfish because I'm like, they're not gonna eat this. I'm gonna make this, and this is still gonna be mine. No one will touch this soup. All of a sudden, the aroma goes through the house. Oh, what did you make? Oh, that smell. Oh, you made soup. Oh, that smells good. What'd you make? Oh, I just pulled some things together and put it in the soup. Every time, they eat it all. And my older son is like, I'm never buying like canned soup ever, because now that I know what soup is supposed to taste like, I'm always going to make it. And it's quick. Like, I think people think it takes a long
Crock
time
pot.
to make soup. I mean, it's really quick. And so grab your favorite vegetables, grab whatever meats you like. You know, I'm a big person on broth. Like, I love broth, and it makes me excited to make different types of broth. So I'm like, oh, let's try this. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's really good. So they get excited. And now that fall is coming, oh, it's going to be soup all the time.
Yep. I
Yep.
love that. You know, I've struggled with soup with my son because he doesn't like stuff mixed together. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try that this fall. Thanks for that tip. I would say for me, and I might have shared this, but it's smoothies.
Oh,
I feel like I can give
yeah.
a smoothie every single week to the 2-year-old, to the 6-year-old. I pack it with kale, spinach, apple, carrots, and it's blended up, and it's just, it tastes good to them. But I feel like if I can do that at least once a week, then I'm like mom of the year.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you might have had chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese every day, but today you had a jam-packed full vegetable smoothie,
Yes.
and you didn't even realize it. And so that's kind of my go-to. And it's similar to how you do soup, but I just kind of take whatever fruit is either in the refrigerator that's about to go bad, or even some frozen
Yes.
things, and throw them in the blender, and they drink it up.
Yeah.
So I love that we talked about this.
Oh, me
and I
too.
really would love for anybody who's listening to share their tips on healthy foods.
Please do.
Particularly for kids, but also for women.
Like, I
Because
need to
so
know.
many of us are eating on the go. I want to know your tips for eating healthy at fast food restaurants, where sometimes you have to take your kid to a practice, you have to stop somewhere. And I feel bad sometimes about the amount of Happy Meals because I didn't plan well. And so just trying to just think creatively all the time as a mom on the go, a woman on the go. So please share your tips.
Yep.
And as always, we hope you enjoyed this session. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to wherever you can find Behind the Throne. And with that, we'll catch y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Behind the Throne podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and comment below with your feedback. Check out future episodes from us as we discuss motherhood from babies to adults.